Hi guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to talk to you guys about a revelation that I had a few nights ago that really kind of made me understand manifestation and alignment in a way that I haven't before. What I've started to realize is that manifesting your highest reality, your greatest self, is very, very similar to traveling through space. And I think that that's how we are accessing the fourth dimension, is by basically surfing through various realities. When we manifest, we first select a desired reality or a desired channel, if you want to think of it that way, like a desired station on the radio. And then we tune into that. And how do we do that? How do we tune into that desired reality? How do we tune into that channel? To do that, we must remove all dissonance. So anything that creates, that's really the perfect word, dissonance with your desired reality that exists in your reality today. If you can remove all of those things, that will bring you closer and further into alignment with what you're trying to manifest. So it's not even necessarily adding new things into your life as much as it is taking out what doesn't align. I've started to really realize this. If you feel stagnant, if you're struggling with knowing what to do next, my answer to you is this. Think about anything that gives you a bad feeling. Things that you're putting off. Things that make you feel shame. Things that make you feel not yourself. That create dissonance within your body. Like that truly, you can feel that energetic shift. And address them. Handle them. Pray on them. Pray on them. That is so huge. If you're struggling to handle certain things, pray on them. For example, I started to realize that I struggle a lot with shame. Like, there's a lot of things that have happened in my past that aren't even necessarily my fault, or were totally human things, right? Oh, I love that stuff. I can't lie to you. This is not an ad, but the Alani cherry, that's my sheesh right there. Look at my ADHD kicking. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, shame. I struggle with shame. But what I started to realize is that this is what the story of Jesus Christ is all about, okay? Things that have happened in your past that you may struggle with, that you feel like you can't let go of, that are creating that dissonance, right? Because some things are easy to fix when it comes to this whole getting things out of your life that aren't in alignment, right? You can just kind of get rid of them. Like, let's say, it's not easy, but let's say it's a relationship. Like, there's clear answers on how to get rid of that, right? Like, you break up with the person, whatever. That's how you'd go about that. But when it comes to getting rid of things like shame, we need to look at the Bible or any stories from any religion that you can associate with, but I like this one because it perfectly helped me let go of the shame that I've had over past situations or mistakes. The story of Jesus Christ is about this exactly. The whole idea is that God doesn't need you to be perfect today, doesn't need you to be perfect in the past, and he's not asking that you go back and right every wrong. That's what the story of Jesus Christ is all about. He bled so that you do not have to continuously bleed over and over and over and reopen those wounds that are causing you pain. He suffered so that you no longer have to. And whether or not like you take that in a way that's literal or theoretical, the point is that if there's things that have happened in your past that you're struggling to let go of that are causing dissonance and not allowing you to fully live in the alignment and energy of everything that you're wanting to become and what you're supposed to be, then remember that Jesus died for your sins, and you're able to let go of that because God asks that you walk with him, that you walk with him for the rest of your life, that you choose to make a change and acknowledge what's happened in your past and decide that you no longer want to live in that. That's why they say let go and let God. Let go of what you can no longer change, but decide that you will no longer indulge in the things that have happened in your past that are sinful. Okay? And again, I'm not even religious. I haven't even read the Bible, to be honest with you. I just know I know what it's about. Like, I know the stories. I know like some of the stuff, right? Like what most people would know. Again, I was baptized Catholic, but like I didn't ever go to church after that, like never again. But like, it's just, I'm starting to understand these stories. I'm starting to understand from a spiritual side what they're supposed to mean. And there is such great like value in them. The same way, like, I mean, not everything, of course, is going to be true in that, but also not everything in the Bible and all these things are divine anymore. A lot of it is going to be influenced by outside perspectives, like by it. A lot of it is man, a lot of it is that imperfection, and you have to use that like internal GPS to really find what it is that is real. But anyway, this really took a little bit of a tangent because I wasn't even really thinking about this when I started making the video. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, in order to become your highest self, you just need to choose to walk with God. And what does that mean? That means removing anything that doesn't feel right, that doesn't feel good. You have an internal compass that is your intuition that will teach you. Oh, tuition. Intuition. I wonder what like the roots and everything in that is. But you have an internal compass that will teach you and guide you, and you can feel when things are not right. Especially if you kind of get like more and more in tune with that. I feel like this is like a hard spot to be like filming. Hold on. As you get more and more in tune with that. And the way to get more in tune with that is to continuously listen to it. Honestly, like that's the best way to get closer and closer to your intuition, is by listening to it and learning how to trust it, and that you can trust it more and more and more. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that to become your higher self, it's basically like you are surfing through dimensions, okay? It's like you pick a star that you want to go to and align with that star, align with the energy of that star. And once you get there, something really cool about aligning with your highest self is that you can only go as far as you can perceive. But the amazing thing about it is that once you get to that point that you could perceive, suddenly a whole new reality opens up for you. Suddenly you see more and more possibilities in front of you. And that's why these people that like become great, that's how they do it, is by climbing this continuous ladder and realizing that your higher self is not a destination, it is the journey. Okay? Because you can't see the destination from where you are. You can't see it from this perspective. And when you get there, you're going to see different possibilities for yourself. So we should never put all of our eggs, well, we should put our eggs into one basket, and as in like we should fully commit to what we're going towards at that time. But we should never like expect that final result that you think is the final result at that time is what it's all about. That's why they say to detach from things, right? Because when you get closer to that car, when you actually get that car, you get that house, we're human beings. We're going to want more. We're going to want to see what more life can offer us, okay? And you're going to be able to see more from up there. It's like when you climb the peak of a mountain, like you can see the whole valley, right? So now maybe you know a little bit better where you're actually trying to go. So just remember, like, this is a continuous thing, and it's something that's very beautiful about being a human. And one more thing that I want to talk about before I go that's a little bit separate, and I might make a whole nother video about it, is that I started to realize that our reality in front of us is very similar to a star. Okay, like what you see visually in front of you is a projection, the same way that stars are projections. Like how stars that are very far away, it takes so long for the light to get to us that some of the stars that we see in the night sky are actually already dead because it took so long for that visible light to arrive to us. There's something faster than the speed of light. And I don't know if it's consciousness or what it is, but that's kind of like how the quantum entanglement works, right? Where things that have actually been connected to one another, they remain connected no matter how far apart they are, and they can instantaneously affect one another. Look that up if you want to hear more about it. But our visible world, it's delayed, okay? So what you see in front of you is not necessarily reality. It's a result of all of the actions that you have taken before that point that have created this reality in front of you, this delayed reality. So whatever you're doing right now to become better internally, just know that it will eventually show in the external. That it will have to show, but it won't show right away because it is delayed. Because visible light is not faster than consciousness, not faster than all of this energy. This projection that we have in front of us is not reality. It's delayed reality. It's perceived reality. So I just want you guys to know, manifestation is something that I know is happening for you. You just have to be patient and realize that it is a process, okay? And it's a never-ending process of picking a point and moving to that point and then being able to see more and moving to the next point, okay? And the last thing that I just really want you to hit hard is that to get to that next point, what you need to do is align with it. And that's so hard to understand most of the time. But what I'm trying to make you understand is that anything that doesn't feel good for you, that feels like it causes guilt or shame or any of those things, like use that as a guide and compass, as something that needs to be handled, managed. Anything that's trying to let go, like get rid of itself in your life, like that you're having to grasp and hold on to so tightly, it's not supposed to be there. And you need to trust that whatever is meant for you will come back to you if it is meant for you. So let go, release your grasp, and realize that if it's true and if it's real, then you won't need to hold on to it so tight for it to stay. And if it's not true and real, then just the act of trust that you have by letting go, God will reward that with more, with better, okay? Because when you let go and that thing's not meant for you, you're making space for what is. You are making space for what is. So let go and let God. Anything you can't fix or change, let go and let God. And just make an oath to yourself, a vow to yourself, that from this point on, you will walk in alignment with what feels right in your soul. And that is when your chakras will align. Okay? The other night, I realized this, and I felt energy going through my body as though a harp, like a string of a harp, had been pulled in my body. And I just felt the vibration through my heart. And I looked it up, and that's a sign of activation. And it also is beautiful because that means that's why the harp is represented as a sign of heaven and divinity. It's because you might actually feel, you will feel that vibration, that symbol, like that literally resembles a heart in your body. Sorry, I'm like sweating. It's hot. I don't want to have like the air conditioning on because I don't want to ruin your guys' like experience. But yeah, it's hot. Anyway, it felt like a harp was playing, and that's how I knew I was in alignment. And once you get in alignment, like once you get to that golden chord, like right, like once you get into that flow, it carries you. Like it literally carries you with it. And all you need to do is align with it by removing what doesn't align, by removing what doesn't feel good. That's what it is. That is what it is. So if you're stuck, start with that. Look deeply into your shadows, look yourself in the face, look at like anything that has been a habit or things that you just know you've needed to address. And try your best to manage those things, because each time you take one thing away that doesn't fit with who you are or who you're trying to become or who you want to be, the closer you get to being that person fully, to fully embodying that person. It's not necessarily about adding things in, but removing what doesn't fit. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'm finally feeling like I'm starting to find my voice here. So that's exciting. I want to take you guys on like a little bit of a glow up journey, because I am in my glow up era. And I have some like life updates for you as well. But also I'm trying to kind of like I'm still not quite at a point of like knowing exactly how I'm going to handle all the things. So I'll keep you guys updated with everything there. But again, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. And again, if you're feeling lost, just take out all those things that don't feel good to you, that don't feel right. Your intuition will tell you what those things are. Have a good rest of your day, you guys. I'll see you later.